undercard press conference for Saturday night's huge night of boxing action, He Who Dares. It's all being brought to you courtesy of Matchroom Boxing. It'll be broadcast live on Sky Sports box office here in the UK and in the United States exclusively on DAZN. So, like I mentioned, we're here in the heart of the city of Manchester, and that's really what Saturday's card is all about. It's called He Who Dares, and it's the first unification bout to take place on British soil in the modern 3 or 4 belt era. Oleksandr Usyk, Tony Bellew at the top of the card. But the undercard is stacked. A lot of great guys sitting up here on the dais. Of course, pretty boy Josh Kelly. You got the Rickster, Ricky Burns, and Scotty Cardle in a great domestic dust-up. You've got Hyde and Reactor, 2 undefeated fighters, cruiserweights going at it, a great Nixon-Nil fight for the vacant WBA Intercontinental Championship, and of course the White Rhino, the very popular heavyweight fighter, is up here also. But the chief support, of course, the Mancunian Anthony $1 Million Crolla. He's at the top of the chief support of this card, and he's fighting for that WBA final eliminator against Dowd Jordan. And Anthony won his world title right across the street when he fought Darlis Perez at the Manchester Arena. So we're here, and now to tell you all about it in detail, I'm going to turn it over to the managing director, the president of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Thanks, Dave. Could you do that thing where you say my name twice? Thank you, thank you. I like that. I like that. I've always wanted you to do that for me, Dave. Thank you. Thanks for joining us again. Second press conference of the 3, and like David said, a stacked card, a special night of boxing. The first ever undisputed fight in British boxing history in Usyk against Bellew, but so many important fights on this card, this undercard, and so many fighters coming through to look to challenge for world titles, to win their first belts, to keep their careers alive, to keep their crazy careers alive in the case of Pappy pay-per-view down the end there as well. Before we speak to the fighters, I'm going to pass over to our host broadcasters, Sky Sports, head of boxing, Adam Smith, to say a few words.
Thanks, Eddie. We're delighted to be back in Manchester. What a time for sport, the football last night, the derby on Sunday. And there's nothing like the arena here. I think we've had so many great nights over the years. Ricky Hatton, of course, owned the place. It was wonderful to see him go from strength to strength, and fantastic fights, great happenings that occur inside there. And Anthony Crolla, of course, has taken the mantle on in recent years. He's had a great supporting cast as well. There's a real special feel about that Manchester arena, and we're delighted to be back. 6 o'clock on Sky Sports box office on Saturday night, and what a card! It's a feast. It's the young prospects. It's the excellent, intriguing matches. Can't wait to see Ricky Burns and Scotty Cardle, which has been put together at short notice, and both fighters deserve a lot of credit for that. But there's some really good stuff, of course, David Allen and his heavyweights and his great cult character that he's provided British boxing over the last couple of years, but he can fight as well, I'll tell you that much. And you know, Josh Kelly, Young Boxer of the Year. We had a great ceremony down in London recently to crown him that. He's a dad as well of a few days. We're talking about whether he's getting any sleep. I hope he is before Saturday night. But it really is good, and to see Anthony and Dowd Jordan in a terrific chief support as well. I think that's a really good fight. I think that's going to be nip and tuck and toe to toe all the way. So a beautiful supporting card to a fabulous main event that we'll be talking about a lot later on.
Thanks, Adam. Dave, we'll start with you down the end. Probably the most active fighter in Britain right now, and certainly one of the most talked about. But more importantly, someone who's learning and improving, and another important step for you on Saturday night.
Hello. Yeah, fantastic. Out again. Very, very active, very busy. Yeah, I'm really happy just to be involved in all these fantastic shows. Really happy to be out and about. That's about it really for me today. My opponent's not here, I've not really got much else to say.
I've seen you across many social media sites, Iron Brew, I think all the way through to Babe Station as well. There's an air though that, you know, it's becoming a little bit more serious for you now. Obviously we know that's good fun, and you have the ability to mix that up with the seriousness as well, but how serious are you taking this now? And how far away do you think you are now from being ready for those big fights again, but this time to make them count rather than coming in as an opponent?
Yeah, I think when I boxed the Whites and Ortiz, I only had time to fight, so I literally boxed Dylan White and Ortiz after 20 fights, amateur and pro. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. Looking back now, I was mad really. I was well out of my depth. boxed Tony Oaken, only had 25 fights again. I went out my depth again. But I think now I've been boxing Nick Webb and Nebo, British level, maybe pushing it a little bit with Nebo, but around a good level. You know, I dispatched them in good fashion, do the same Saturday night. And then, you know, I'd like to fight again at the end of the year. And then next year I want to win all the domestic titles, and I think I can, you know. I don't think there's anyone at domestic level that I can't beat. You know, I genuinely do think that I do like to have a laugh, and I do like to mess about. When I get in the ring, I always try, you know. And I think now I'm finally good enough to go with that effort level to win all these domestic titles. And who knows, you know, once you win them, you never know what can happen from there with a bit of luck.
I think the Nick Webb win, you know, in terms of your popularity as well, taking it to another level.
Yeah.
Newcastle, 8,000 people singing There's Only One Dave Allen. It was something special. This time, around 18,000, 19,000 people in Manchester Arena. It's going to be special again.
Well, when I box, there'll be about 3,000 in, but, you know...
I was going to say that.
hopefully get another good reception. Obviously, Sam Hyde's fans will be there. They'll remember me from the amateurs when I boxed Sam 7 years ago. Yesterday it was.
Who won?
Well, Sam didn't want me to mention me stopping him, so I won't mention that I stopped him.
You're a bit heavy for him, Dave, isn't it?
But yeah, you know, Manchester's. I love Manchester Arena. I boxed there before. I boxed Ortiz. So hopefully we'll have a different result. Hopefully a totally different night out.
Okay, Dave, thank you. A fight that was put together quite recently as well, and I think is a great example of where British boxing's at right now, is Richard Riakporhe against Sam Hyde. WBA International Cruiserweight Championship on the card, 2 undefeated cruiserweights, 2 fighters that probably 2 or 3 years ago would never ever take this fight at this stage in their career. But both guys ready, believe they can win, ready to gamble on Saturday night, and looking at a brilliant domestic cruiserweight division. Of course, top of the tree with the likes of Bellew, but more realistically for these guys, looking at the likes of Lawrence Okoli for the British title, Craig Glover with a good win recently as well, Isaac Chamberlain back on the scene as well. There's some really top cruiserweights domestically looking to come through right now. And Richard, firstly with you, you're all over this fight, a big opportunity for you, and really thrown into the deep end on Saturday, but you feel, and Dylan and your team feel you're ready for this?
Yeah, I was thrown knee deep, but you know, I just feel like I'm able to mix it with at this level now. It's just, with me, it was just the lack of experience, but you know, it's like learning on the job. So, and I don't mind. I love taking risks, and I think if you want to be a great fighter in this sport, you have to. So, I remember coming up to Manchester. This was back 8 years ago. I came to watch the Audley Harrison versus David Hay.
Alright, we'll end that there.
So yeah, and I remember watching George Grove versus Kenny Anderson, you know, and I was just filled with admiration and respect for these fighters. And one day, maybe I could do the same thing. And next thing you know, 8 years later, you know, I've got a title fight here. It's absolutely insane, you know. And I'm just gonna come and give everything I got. I believe I can win. And like Tony Bellew says, believe you're me, lad. Trust me, I'm going to give it everything. I'm bringing that title back to London. So.
Richard, tell us a little bit about your story. I know that, you know, obviously many have seen you in the ring, but growing up in London as well, you're a great advocate as well of how boxing can change lives.
Yeah, so I grew up in South East London. I got myself in a lot of trouble growing up. Been to jail, been stabbed. And, you know, I reached a crossroad where I had to make a decision. Like, do I want to continue with this lifestyle, always paranoid, looking over my back, trying to survive, having to arm myself just to make sure that I don't get myself killed. And then I just found a boxing gym, Lynn ABC, started training with Sam Mullin and everybody down there. And I just stuck at it, and I realized, you know, how much power I got in the boxing and the sport. So I was getting a lot of TKOs, KO victories, and I wasn't taking it seriously at all. So I pursued it, kept me off the streets, because what I noticed is that it was due to boredom. That's how I got myself in a lot of trouble. But the boxing stopped me from hanging around with bad influences, and I just stayed grounded. Next thing you know, I was doing better at boxing. I decided to go to university. I graduated a degree at Kingston University, and ever since I never looked back. And it was the boxing that kept me grounded. If it wasn't for the boxing, I would have definitely been caught up in a whole load of different madnesses, and I'd probably been in jail for life. I got a few of my close friends that used to hang around every day. They're doing jail. They're doing life in jail now, and a few of them. So you know, being here is a blessing. Trust me, things could have gone a different way.
Thank you. And if there's any politicians watching our local councillors, if you can't see time and time again what boxing does for young kids in the community, it is integral, and I think it can change a lot of paths and lives. Sam, again, you've been waiting for a few fights that have fallen through recently, and this chance came up, and you and Joe Gallagher took it with both hands, in your backyard, on a huge bill, chance to win your first title. Massive night for you.
Yeah, over the last few weeks I've had few pull-outs over the week. I've come from the small hall shows, obviously. Now on the big card, you have different financial problems with opponents, and it's just not happening for me. And now I believe all the stars have aligned to make this happen. What a bill on 2 cruiserweight championships, undercard. So massive thanks to you, Eddie, for giving me this opportunity. I'm going to grab it with both hands.
Cruiserweight division is red hot at the moment. You and Richard, both very talented, undefeated, good punchers as well. Should shape up for a great fight.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I've watched a bit of Richard. I don't believe he's fought anyone anywhere near as good as I am. And likewise, as a pro, I might not have boxed anyone as good as him, but all I know is I'm fit, ready for 10 hard rounds. So as long as he is, it's going to be a great night to start the Sky Show off.
Will be a great fight against Rhea Kapori, kicking it off on Sky Sports box office and DAZN across America. A young man who, Adam Swift rightly said, just crowned Young Boxer of the Year. I see that award really as sort of young prospects emerging through. I see this guy as already a world talent, and I can't wait to see him back in the ring on Saturday night against Walter Castillo. He's been out for a while his partner's been giving birth, become a father a couple of days ago, already looking great and fresh. Pretty boy Josh Kelly. Josh, great to be back in the ring and as part of a huge show as well on Sky Sports box office.
It's a massive showcase. Obviously, two best cruiserweights in the world going at it, and to be on the undercard and to get busy again is good to say the least. Obviously, I had the little boy, so it's been a crazy week, but I've got my head on the game and we've been training for long and hard for this. So we're just going to push through this fight and do the business.
As we said, had a couple of months out for that experience, and now looking to get a good win on Saturday and hopefully get out in December as well in a big fight.
I mean, obviously Saturday comes first. I never overlook any opponents. I'm always focused. I know what can happen when you do overlook opponents. So I'm going in there Saturday. Like I train hard every time I go into camp. So I'm ready for I was ready for a title fight. So now I'm just going to push through for this fight, and then hopefully everything goes well, and then perform again in December.
See your Olympic Rio teammates, I know you're all your own people, but all those guys now merging into headline acts, over the next few months, and also 2019, the likes of obviously Joshua Buatsi going well, Lawrence Okoye's picked up British and Commonwealth titles as well. See a real changing of the guard in British boxing with these young guns coming through, looking to headline shows in 2019.
It seems like everyone's in competition with everyone at the moment, not just in your weight division, but just to outshine each other. So it's a healthy competition, and obviously competition breeds champions, and I'm ready to step up whenever and wherever and get the job done. I'm here to become the best. I'm not messing about, so I can't wait.
Thanks, Josh. A fight that really did come out of nowhere was Scotty Cardle against Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns was due to box in America. We changed the location from Las Vegas to Kansas. All of a sudden he preferred Manchester. And Scotty Cardle, who was of course down to fight Joe Cordina for the Commonwealth lightweight title as well. Paul Reddy, who works with us, just said, why don't we do Cardle Burns? I said, well, I'm not sure both those guys will be up for that at short notice. 2 phone calls later, deal was done, and these guys are up for the battle on Saturday night. Scotty, at the stage in your career now where you've got to take these opportunities, it's a no-win, no-lose situation for you, rather, and ultimately a great fight, one that's been talked about, I guess, before, but set to be a great fight between you and Ricky on Saturday night.
Yeah, it's been talked about before, obviously with my Scottish background and that, and to be fair, getting in the ring with Ricky, it's an achievement in itself, but I won't be looking past anything of obviously going into this game just over 6 years ago, turning pro. My 5-year plan was to be world level, and in all seriousness, I've underachieved. So going into a fight like this, it can fast track me to some big fights out there, and he can open some good doors for me. So I won't be taking it lightly. Obviously, I've been training for Claudina for the last 12 to 13 weeks, and it's been intense, the training. But I'm very grateful that Ricky stepped in, and I still get to fight, and the fight's on, and I know what I've got ahead of me. And I'm in great shape, and I'm ready for Saturday night.
Like you say, you know, a victory against Joe Caldina could sort of propel you onto Commonwealth and British level, but a victory here on Saturday night can completely change the route of your career and put you straight in the line for some major fights.
I believe so, definitely. Obviously, Caldina he's an 8-fight professional, and obviously with a loss on his record, it won't really affect too much. But a loss on our record on Saturday night, it's going to cost a lot. So I think we both know what's on the line. There's no needle in this fight, and like I said, I'm very grateful for him stepping in. But obviously, when fight night comes, the respect will be left aside, and that'll come through after the last bell. But yeah, there's some there's big moments to come after this fight, I believe, and I've just got to make sure I'm on my game on the night.
Ricky, no, you can fight anywhere, anytime. You're just dying to get in there. You had a great fight with Anthony Crolla at the same arena not so long ago. Important fight for you on Saturday. You can't slip up in this fight. We know you've got plans, obviously, still major fights in your career, and not taking Scotty lightly ahead of Saturday.
I know, we get the phone call last week asking would we box on Saturday night. Me and Tony, we spoke about it, we jumped at the chance to go on such a huge bill. But you know, we train for every fight the same. Obviously we were down to Fort Box next week, so we were in full camp anyway. Training in that was going perfect. Obviously it was meant to fight Joe Cardina, but I was there when Joe done his hand in the gym. Obviously he's rested for a few weeks now, so I'm able to fight. I'm more than happy to, as you know, I'll fight MD at all. It doesn't really bother me. You just hit the phone and tell me. So we're looking forward to Saturday and getting in there and getting the job done.
I think it's fair to say a lot more to gain for Scotty in this fight than there is for you. Do you feel that pressure that you're expected to win on Saturday night, and really all the pressure in this fight is on you?
Not at all. I've been looking, obviously when you're on social media and you can see people are saying that, but maybe me, I treat every fight the same. We train for every fight the same, so this isn't any different. We just need to go out there, same as always, first couple of rounds, suss it out, and we'll take it from there, but we're confident to get out and getting the job done.
Obviously you've been part of some huge shows as well. I mean, Crolla against Jordan is a great fight, and also as a boxing fan yourself, Usyk Bellew, just a wonderful fight.
No, Joe, the main event, that is the one for me. When it was first mentioned fighting in this show, not only do you get to box on it, but you get to sit back and watch your main event as well. Just fingers crossed that Tony can go out here and pull it off.
Cheers, Ricky. Look forward to that. Burns v Cardle on Saturday night. A chief support that could certainly headline its own card at Manchester Arena, and we've seen Anthony Crolla do that time and time again. I just watched a promo release from Matchroom that will be run across our digital space and also Sky later on. And it just brings almost tears to the eyes to remember the nights at Manchester Arena that Anthony Crolla has achieved. And when you look at the likes of Tony Bellew and Anthony Crolla, I see a lot of similarities, guys who perhaps weren't expected to get to that place, but through hard work and dedication and smart work and good teamwork with their teams, have got there. You know, I remember getting a call in Las Vegas years ago when I was at the Amir Khan fight, and Joe phoned me up and said that Anthony Crolla had been in injury, fractured his skull, broken his ankle, and not just we felt like we'd lost the Richard Abril fight, but we felt like we'd lost Anthony's career. And when he got robbed of a decision against Darlis Perez in the first fight in Manchester, I just felt that there's no God. And when we managed to get the rematch and he stopped him, it was, and you know, watch this promo, it was just one of the most special nights I've ever felt, I've ever seen, and I think the boxing community feel the same as well. Fast forward to a great victory against Ismael Barroso, after he just knocked out Kevin Mitchell. Many people expected Crolla to lose that night. He knocks out Barroso, moves on to challenge unification fight with Jorge Linares, and the Ring Magazine belts on the line. Very close fight in the first fight. Second fight, Linares was excellent. And now he's back with a chance to have another shot at a world title in a brilliant fight against Bellew Jordan. And you know, I've watched Bellew Jordan recently, one of the toughest competitors in the 135-pound division. Both these guys do exactly what it says on the tin. They're both going to come forward, meet each other head on. This is going to be an absolute war at Manchester Arena on Saturday night, and so much on the line. You know, the victory will lead you to the mandatory shot against the brilliant Vasily Lomachenko, and that's a tough fight in itself, but a special occasion. And Anthony Crolla will be doing everything he can to be victorious on Saturday night. And firstly, Dowd, welcome. How are you feeling ahead of this fight?
Good. First, I wanna let me use my Indonesian language, and I have translate it behind me. Yeah. Yang pertama, saya mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Matchroom Boxing atas kesempatan ini, juga kepada tim saya, Mahkota Promotion Raja Sabtu Hari, Simon, Eric, pelatih saya Pino Bahari, dan semua tim yang mempersiapkan saya untuk pertarungan ini.
First of all, I would like to say thank you very much to Matchroom Boxing for this great opportunity, and also my promotions in Indonesia, Mahkota Promotion, Raja Sabtu Hari, Mr. Sim, Eric, and also my beloved great trainer Pino Bahari.
This is going to be a great fight between two guys who love to come forward and expecting a brilliant fight.
Ya, pertarungan kali ini tentu menjadi sejarah buat saya sendiri secara pribadi, karena akan ditonton oleh 265 juta penduduk Indonesia, dan saya bertarung melawan mantan juara dunia yang sangat hebat, yaitu Anthony Crolla, dan saya sangat menghormati dia.
This will be a great fight for me because it will be broadcast and lively and watched by the almost 265 million population in Indonesia. Then it will be a very respectable and honor for me to fight Anthony Crolla, which is I very respect to him, but it will be a great war.
Thank you. Anthony, first thing from those quotes is you're going to be a huge star in Indonesia on Monday morning. But you and Ricky are like the Benjamin Buttons of boxing. Every time I see both of you look younger every day. And seeing in the videos of you training and the pictures coming out from your S&C team, and obviously Joe as well, in the shape of your career on Saturday night, and really excited for this fight.
Yeah, it's a fight I can't wait for, and it's a fight that puts the fear into me because I know what a good fighter that Bellew Jordan is. It's gives you that extra bit of an edge to training, and you just mentioned it then with my team. And I think over the last year, I think people think that I'm on the slide. I think last time out in Cardiff it wasn't exactly frills and spills, but I had a bad cut, got the win. But this, you just mentioned it earlier, this is the kind of opponent that I believe is the best out in me. And my team, from the boxing side, I think most importantly Joe believes I'm boxing better than ever. My strength and conditioning, I'm getting stronger and faster. And I look at all these little things and I think if everything's improving around me, then I'm improving as an athlete and improving as a boxer. And I genuinely believe the best is still to come, and I will need my best on Saturday night to defeat Dowd. I bumped into him yesterday outside the hotel, him and his team, gentlemen, and we'll shake hands and we go to war Saturday night. I think anyone who knows boxing knows that stylistically this can't help but be a great fight.
And finally, obviously, the winner gets Lomachenko, but also the division opening up right now looks like Commey against Chaniev for the WBC. Luke Campbell might get a shot at the WBC title as well. Although Lomachenko is for the winner, a really interesting time in the division, and Saturday is a very important part of that.
Yeah, of course. Listen, people mention about Lomachenko having the belt. I won't look past this guy over here, Bellew Jordan. It'd be disrespectful, and it's a tough enough fight on Saturday. But obviously, that is a carrot that gets dangled. But we'll see what happens. You just mentioned other fights there as well. Some of the titles becoming free. But yeah, the winner on Saturday then becomes mandatory for the WBA world title. So the winner goes on to fight for a world title. Should go on to fight for a world title.
Thanks, Anthony. Crolla against Jordan is a wonderful fight. Chief support to the Usyk Bellew card on Saturday night. So many great fighters and great matchups going to be leading us up to that huge main event on Saturday night. We're going to have head-to-heads at the front of this stage now, and then we'll have a short break and we'll resume for the Usyk Bellew press conference shortly. Thank you.